What is happening in the world of sports? The news cycle is absolutely insane right now, and if you're not locked in with the Roger Report, you are missing out. We've got bombshells dropping left and right, from shocking returns to unexpected pronouncements that are already shaking up the leagues. Get ready, because we're diving headfirst into the stories everyone will be talking about, and you're getting it first. Don't blink, you won't want to miss a second of this. And first up, a quarterback who knows a thing or two about making headlines is back, and he's got a message for his former team. And speaking of quarterbacks making waves, we've got a deep dive into exactly what Aaron Rodgers said and did after absolutely torching his old squad. Was it just a game, or was this a personal statement? We're breaking down the fiery quotes and the even hotter performance that has everyone talking. Get ready for the full story behind the win that felt like so much more. But wait, there's more. The drama doesn't stop there. We're looking at the specific actions Aaron Rodgers took after that epic win, a gesture that's already sparking debate across the league. Was it confidence? Was it arrogance? We're dissecting the moment that had fans and analysts buzzing, all captured on camera. You won't believe what he did. And finally, we're heading over to the Jets side of the field after that wild shootout. How is their defense reacting to being unable to contain the veteran quarterback? We've got the inside scoop on the defensive struggles in that high-octane loss that has the Jets facing some serious questions heading into the rest of their season. Make sure you're subscribed and the notification bell is on, because you need to stay ahead of the game. Let's go. Rodgers' revenge. The Jets' defense couldn't handle him. That's right, folks. The game everyone was buzzing about is in the books, and it was an absolute barnburner. The Pittsburgh Steelers pulled off a stunning 34-32 victory over the New York Jets in a Week 1 matchup that had fans on the edge of their seats. At the heart of this incredible win was none other than quarterback Aaron Rodgers, playing in his first game for the Steelers after a tumultuous period with the Jets. He wasn't just playing, he was dominating, throwing for a remarkable 4 touchdowns and 229 yards, reminding everyone of his elite skills and proving he still has plenty of game left. The context here is massive. Rodgers' tenure with the Jets was cut short by injury just 4 snaps into his debut season, and with the team moving in a new direction under head coach Aaron Glenn, he was left looking for a fresh start. This game wasn't just about a win, it was about redemption and a clear message. After the game, when asked about beating his former team, Rodgers didn't hold back, stating, "I was happy to beat everybody associated with the Jets." This wasn't just a throwaway comment. It was a direct shot fired back at an organization that saw his time end so abruptly. His performance was vintage Rodgers, showcasing precision and power that the Jets' defense simply couldn't counter. On the other side, Jets' new quarterback Justin Fields also had a strong showing, but it wasn't enough to overcome Rodgers' masterclass. The game highlighted the stark contrast between Rodgers' triumphant return and the Jets' continued struggles to find consistent quarterback play. The public reaction has been immediate and intense. Social media is ablaze with discussions about Rodgers' comments and his dominant performance. Analysts are dissecting whether this is a sign of a resurgent Steelers team and a potential Super Bowl contender, or if it was simply a perfect storm against his former employers. The consensus: Rodgers is back, and he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. But did Rodgers stop at just the words? Stick around, because we're about to reveal a bold move he made right after the game that's got everyone talking. Next, we'll dive into the specific gesture that defined his victory over the Jets. Rodgers' post-game shot, more than just a win. This Week 1 clash between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Jets wasn't just a game. It was a narrative-rich showdown, and Aaron Rodgers was the star of his own redemption story. After leading the Steelers to a nail-biting 34-32 victory, the veteran quarterback didn't just bask in the glory. He made sure his feelings about his former team were crystal clear. This victory was deeply personal for Rodgers, who endured a disappointing stint with the Jets, culminating in a difficult exit interview with new head coach Aaron Glenn. Rodgers, now 41, delivered a vintage performance, completing 22 of 30 passes for 244 yards and 4 touchdowns, with 0 interceptions. This stat line is a powerful statement against the Jets' defense, which struggled to contain him throughout the game. His words post-game, as reported by NFL reporter Mike Garafolo, were blunt. "I was happy to beat everyone associated with the Jets." This wasn't just a casual remark. It was a direct, public message that the Jets might have made a mistake letting him go, especially after his stellar performance in their season opener. The contrast with the Jets' quarterback, Justin Fields, was stark. Fields put up solid numbers with 218 passing yards, a touchdown, and 2 rushing touchdowns, but it wasn't enough to secure the win. For Rodgers, this game was a triumphant start to what could be his final NFL season, sending a clear warning to the rest of the league that he's still a force to be reckoned with and is fully committed to winning a Super Bowl with Pittsburgh. The NFL community is buzzing. Fans are debating the intensity of Rodgers' comments, with some calling it petty and others applauding his honesty and competitive fire. Analysts are pointing to this game as a sign of the Steelers' Super Bowl aspirations, contingent on Rodgers maintaining this high level of play. It's a clear indication that Rodgers is playing with renewed purpose and is determined to make a statement. But the story doesn't end with his words. We've got footage of a specific, bold action Rodgers took as he left the field that perfectly capped off his triumphant return. What exactly did Aaron Rodgers do that had everyone talking after his win against the Jets? Rodgers' taunt, a cocky farewell to New York. It was a Week 1 game for the ages, with the Pittsburgh Steelers narrowly defeating the New York Jets 34-32, and quarterback Aaron Rodgers was the undisputed star. After a dramatic 2-year tenure with the Jets that ended prematurely, Rodgers returned to MetLife Stadium not just to win, but to make a statement. Met with boos from the crowd as he entered, he left to a similar chorus, but this time, he had a defiant gesture to punctuate his victory. Rodgers, who looked like his old self with 4 touchdowns and 229 passing yards, played spoiler to Justin Fields' debut with the Jets. But the most talked-about moment wasn't just his stat line, it was his exit. As he walked off the field, surrounded by Steelers coach Mike Tomlin and Cameron Hayward, Rodgers playfully put his finger to his ear, mimicking putting it to his ear and then holding his hand up, a gesture that seemed to say, "I can hear you, but I don't care." It was a cocky, confident move that perfectly encapsulated his feelings after a dominant performance against his former team. While some might call the gesture cringe or corny, Rodgers undeniably earned the right to celebrate his way. After the season he had with the Jets, marked by disappointment and an abrupt end, this win and the subsequent taunt were a powerful display of his resilience and competitive spirit. He delivered for the Steelers when it mattered most, securing a sweet victory against the team that moved on from him. The reaction online has been a mix of admiration and criticism. Many fans love seeing Rodgers' swagger and believe he's earned the right to celebrate after such a performance. Others view it as unsportsmanlike conduct. Regardless, the image of Rodgers making that gesture has become an instant meme and a symbol of his triumphant return and his complicated relationship with the Jets. Speaking of the Jets, their defense was on the field for that entire thrilling shootout. How did they fare, and what does this loss mean for them moving forward? We're breaking down the Jets' defensive struggles in that wild Week 1 loss. Jets defense overwhelmed in wild Week 1 loss to Rodgers. In a game that defied expectations, the New York Jets defense found itself on the wrong side of a high-scoring 34-32 thriller against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Despite a strong offensive performance from their new quarterback, Justin Fields, the Jets' defense ultimately couldn't contain the veteran presence and pinpoint accuracy of Aaron Rodgers, who made his triumphant return to MetLife Stadium in a Steelers uniform. The Jets entered the season with high hopes, particularly after acquiring Fields, but Week 1 exposed significant defensive vulnerabilities. They struggled to generate consistent pressure on Rodgers and were often caught out of position, allowing him to orchestrate multiple scoring drives. Rodgers, playing with a clear chip on his shoulder, exploited these weaknesses, throwing for 4 touchdowns and 229 yards. This performance was a stark reminder of his capabilities and a major disappointment for a Jets defense that was expected to be a strength. On the offensive side, Justin Fields showed flashes of brilliance, contributing 218 passing yards, a touchdown, and adding 2 more scores on the ground. However, his efforts weren't enough to overcome the defensive lapses. The game highlighted a critical imbalance for the Jets, a capable offense struggling against a defense that couldn't get the job done against a seasoned opponent. The aftermath of the loss has sparked intense debate among Jets fans and analysts. The defensive performance is being heavily scrutinized, with many questioning the team's strategy and personnel. The inability to stop Rodgers, a quarterback they once had, is particularly galling. Social media is filled with frustration, with fans calling for adjustments and expressing concern about the team's outlook if the defense doesn't improve rapidly. The focus is now on how the Jets will regroup and address these defensive issues before they derail their season. That's a wrap on our top stories, but don't go anywhere, we've got a lightning round recap coming your way next. Get ready for the fastest recap in sports news. What a show, folks! We saw Aaron Rodgers dominate his former team, the Jets, in a thrilling Week 1 victory. He came out firing, proving he still got it and sending a clear message to New York. And the drama didn't end there, with Rodgers making a bold gesture on his way off the field, capping off a memorable performance. Meanwhile, the Jets' defense is facing serious questions after being unable to contain the veteran quarterback. What a start to the season. If you loved this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe to the Rodger Report for all your breaking sports news, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Ring it, ring it, ring it, and let us know in the comments who you think is the team to beat this season. Follow us on all our socials for even more exclusive content. We'll see you next time.